The heat over sophisticated foreign actors trying to infiltrate our politics, and particularly our parliament, has been building for a few years now. The subtext, often politely not mentioned, has usually been that the main culprits have been the Chinese. There have been hacking attempts on the parliamentary IT system, on the Weather Bureau, and on federal departments. But the weekend has seen a dramatic escalation of this pressure. First, reports of a young Chinese man, Wang Lichuang, seeking asylum in Australia, claiming he had been working for Chinese intelligence in Australia, Taiwan and Hong Kong. Then, even more shockingly, claims of another man, Nick Zhao, being found dead in a Melbourne motel room after approaching ASIO with claims that the Chinese were pressuring him to run for Parliament in the seat of Chisholm with a promised $1 million to bankroll his campaign. But if all this was not extraordinary enough, ASIO chief Mike Burgess took the extremely unusual step of releasing a statement late last night confirming the spy organisation was already actively investigating these claims. This puts these stories on a whole new plane. ASIO rarely speaks publicly, directly, and usually only to say it would not be publicly commenting. Today, even the Prime Minister was not walking away from the stories.
I find the allegations deeply disturbing and troubling.
These issues obviously have wide ramifications for the China-Australia relationship. The Chinese embassy also took the rare step of releasing a statement suggesting the man claiming asylum is a fraudster. The weekend's revelations have brought home just how extensive the Chinese attempts to influence Australian politics have become and how alarmed our intelligence institutions are about it. But even without the Chinese trying to infiltrate the Parliament, there were questions today about how effective Parliament is at holding our own politicians, and particularly ministers, to account.
There are very few standards these days that government ministers get held to. And basically the last one is that a minister must not mislead the House.
Energy Minister Angus Taylor remains under pressure on a number of issues, but particularly over his release of doctored documents about the travel expenses of the Mayor of the City of Sydney, Clover Moore.
The words were, from the Minister, an assurance to the House. The document was drawn directly from the City of Sydney's website. Now, on all the public evidence, that cannot be true.
The government appears determined to tough out these suggestions of misleading. After all, there are only 2 more weeks of parliamentary sittings before Christmas. But the Prime Minister was under attack on another front today.
Will you have the courage to apologise to the victims of the bushfires for exporting record amounts of thermal coal?
Our government knows about the need to take action on climate change, and our record demonstrates we are meeting and beating our commitments.
The government was keen today to let voters know it's taking action to address problems in our aged care system, announcing over $500 million of spending as an immediate response to problems identified earlier this month by the interim report of the Aged Care Royal Commission. But earlier this month, 7:30 reported on a small nursing home in the Victorian town of Murchison on the brink of closure. They were promised immediate action too.
Immediate response and an urgent response.
3 weeks later, the home is in liquidation and staff and residents remain in limbo.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 7:30's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.